Good morning, everybody. Hi. I want to say hi to Joseph, Lynn, and Melinda. Hello. And I want to get right into it. It's interesting because both of you, all of you, have specialties on Instagram, and your Jewish identity is a big part of it, but maybe didn't seem to me in looking through your Instagram accounts as the thing that you started, posting about. Joseph, what you started posting about Tinder dates, and what made you then expand that to get involved in Jewish advocacy online?
It's a great question. Initially, I was in business school, just kind of boarding class, starting just talking about random things, and then along the way created other pages. And after October 7th, I try to find ways to incorporate what I feel is important in fighting anti-Semitism into my content, into my community, and I try to find ways to make it very non-intrusive. So I try to push my agenda without people knowing that I have an agenda. And what I mean by that is I'm very pro-Israel, obviously. And so what I do is I post things that highlight Israel, but it may not be, go Zionist, go this, but it's very an unintrusive way where people don't even know I have an agenda. And I'll give an example. I posted about the heroic dog that passed away that was saving a family from October 7th. And that got so much love from all different parts of the community. And of course, there's people commenting Free Palestine, but people overwhelmingly understood the importance of this dog supporting a family who are victims of terror. And I find ways to make it much more less intrusive while still getting the message out there.
So Lynn, you're a yoga instructor. Tell me the connection between yoga and advocacy against anti-Semitism.
First of all,
yeah.
I could never have dreamt that I'd be here today, so I'm honored, I have to say that. And as a yoga teacher, and as an advocate, as a yoga teacher and advocate for Israel and for our Jewish people and myself and my family, I had to speak up because I'm a mother, I'm a bubby, I'm a wife. All the other stuff is insignificant. My people are my family, my importance, and I have to speak up for my people because, as everybody before me has said, if not now, when? So I'm nervous as hell right now, and speaking up in public, it comes naturally in many ways, but I never thought that I'd be here today speaking up. But it's time, and we all have to do it. And you guys are really influencing me, and you youngins out there, thank God for you, because you're setting the stage for all of us to get more strength, because we weren't bred to speak up on this. We were not bred for this.
Are there others in your space who are talking about what you're talking about?
I've found my people, thank God.
Good.
Thank God for all of us that are speaking out, and I've lost a lot of people because of what I speak out, because of course Jewish community and the yoga community cannot be they're not always jiving.
Right.
And I found my yin within it, but I think it's important too.
Yeah. And then the people that you found who share similar views, are you collaborating with them?
Yes.
Good.
Yeah.
Melinda, your brand is multifaceted. You have recipes, blogs, a podcast, among other things. Which medium do you find most effective about educating people about Judaism and anti-Semitism?
I think a lot of you guys probably know the answer to this. TikTok. Big time TikTok.
Really?
Yeah, so there's a huge difference. And I'll just, give myself a little shout out because I'm really proud to have a really nice following on TikTok, over 1 million people who are following me there. And thank you.
And you notice that the stickiness on TikTok is more intense.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's a whole different world. Jewish people are definitely not protected. Especially Jewish creators are not protected on TikTok, although I want to say that I think everyone here should be on TikTok, because even though they don't necessarily protect us, the Jewish people who are on TikTok consuming are still there, and they need us. They need our voices. They need to know they're not alone. And even when we're not protected, we still need to use our voices no matter what. We just need to be a little careful in the words we use so we don't get, violations and stuff like that. I could teach all you that, but.
And out of curiosity, so like, what's a word you can't use?
Oh, you can't say Hitler without a video getting taken down, Nazi. You have to say mustache man or not Z. Otherwise, they can put swastikas in our comments, but if I show a swastika, my videos get taken down.
Wow.
Yeah, but even with all that, I'm telling you, all our voices are needed, and it's my favorite place to really, especially for education, because the platform makes it so that anybody can see your stuff.
And so what kind of content do you find is the most effective to getting your message across? Or what kind of content do you find people relating to the most?
Oh, education, Q&A style. I answer a lot of questions about Orthodox Judaism because I'm a modern Orthodox Jew, but it's answering all kinds of questions. People say to me all the time, I know this is a really stupid question, but, and I'm like, there are no stupid questions, which let's be honest, sometimes there are, but I'd rather you ask the stupid question and at least you'll get an answer, because if you don't ask it, then you're just gonna start making stuff up in your head. And then things go off in every direction. So I'd rather them ask the questions they think are stupid, and I like to give them a comfortable space for me to answer those questions. Like, instead of making people feel stupid, it's really letting them know that their question deserves to be asked, and I'll answer it.
I mean, for all of you, the easy way out is to not talk about this at all and keep just talking about yoga and recipes and dating. So shout out to all of you for speaking your truth and being really brave. In terms of negative reactions, how do you cope with that, or what advice do you have to people about blocking that out or shutting it out? Joseph?
I do a lot of news type articles, and I add that it's fact checked by me, obviously, but they have this page called Spectacular. We do a lot of news type articles, and I post a lot about things that happen in Israel, things that happen in the world. And a lot of people comment, obviously, very negatively. They say free Palestine or this never happened. And I have no problem messaging them on the side and starting a conversation. And then I do it a lot on my personal page. And I've gotten death threats. I've gotten, come find me, this, that. And while I'm saying that, there's a great website I want everybody to look into, which I did recently, called delete.me. It deletes all your contact information on the internet. And I think it's very powerful because as we are Jewish influencers, I've had people send me my parents' address. So I know this is kind of off topic, but delete.me, please look into it.
Delete.me?
Yeah.
Okay.
It costs like $100 a year, but do it once. Get all your public information removed, and don't be worried about sharing the truth.
Wow. That's good advice. Tell me how, Joseph, you tie in Jewish values with your goal of creating feel-good content.
It's really about just being true to myself and my family and my people. And I try to find ways to intertwine comedy with my hidden agenda of combating anti-Semitism and really bringing the truth of what happened on October 7th.
Lynn, you've been very vocal in your advocacy for the hostages since October 7th. Tell me a bit about how you have used your platform to raise awareness into their plight.
Well, like Joseph said, I brought it in from the beginning quite dramatically. So I threw in images from October 7th because I just had to, and I got a lot of awful stuff coming back at me from that, and I lost tens of thousands of followers. Then I came in my way, which is really, I'm a peace, love, hippy-dippy kind of gal, and I thought, how do I bring that into my page and talk my truth, which is all I do on my page. And I started presenting myself with music and with my captions and with my clothing and with my jewelry, and I got a lot of questions and I got a lot of support, and my page grew tremendously with all kinds of diversity.
Wow.
That's how I did it.
Some would argue that those are the followers you want to have.
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
You will get the followers that you want. And I actually have one of my biggest posts I have 18 million views on. I'm wearing a Shauna Drew. I'm going to knock her out in the park because she's an incredible artist that draws for the hostages. And I'm wearing one of her t-shirts. I'm wearing Jewish jewelry. I'm playing Jewish music. And it's like, bring them home is all I want. And that's all I'm going to put out there.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm doing.
Great. And how do you have a tool that you can share for dealing with negative reactions? I mean, you know, when you post something and you lose thousands of followers, that's something that you're building this platform for years. It means something to you. So when you take a big hit that way, or when people come at you in the comments, what's your tool for keep moving forward?
First of all, we don't need them. We don't need them. We're not, if you're here for money, it's not about money. We're here as people. We need to survive, and in the end, the money will come. So just dive in, be yourself, talk your truth, and you will gain the followers that you need, that we all need to get through this time, because we can do it.
That's great. Same question for you, Melinda.
I have some rules, and I have a lot of rules on social media for how to keep going. I've been doing this for a long time. I started my food blog in 2011, so it's been a while on social media. My number one rule for any negative comments is it's something going on in their own life that they're dealing with. It's not about me. Because then every single one of those comments, I know it's not about me. And that's really like what gets me through, because people say some horrible things. Beyond the death threats, those come, and I love that website. I'm totally gonna look into that just for our own privacy. I have a lot of filters that I use for like my address and my kids' schools and things like that, where my kids camp, any privacy things. Filters are amazing. Do not be ashamed to use that, and don't be ashamed to use the block button. They'll try and make you feel bad, like, why are you blocking me? It's your right to do whatever you want on your page. But that's the number one rule, is it's not about me. There's some sad thing going on in their life, whatever it may be, and they got to deal with it. That's not for me to try and figure out. I just have to keep speaking my truth.
Joe?
Yeah, I just want to add one thing. I love the block feature. And I take it a step further. If someone is really anti-Semitic, I have a lot of meme pages. I'm friends with all the other large meme creators. So what I do is I take their handle, I send it in a group message saying, hey, this person reports ads. I don't even need to tell them to block them. They all thank me and they all block them. So I ensure they can never see a meme again. So it's, and
I will say also, to add to that, I'm a big fan of the mute button, because it actually means people are spinning in the universe, and you're not even. Some people get off on getting blocked and they think, oh, wow, this person blocked me. I really got under their skin. If you mute them also, then they have absolutely no idea and they're just twisting in the wind.
And then you can, and then I have fun with it. I also respond to the comments that say unfollow, and I always say something along the lines of, this isn't an airport. No need to announce your departure.
Right.
Can I add one more thing? Actually, you do not need to waste all of your precious time answering their messages.
Yes.
You do not need to waste your time commenting. Let other people fight in the comments. You've got too much of your time to spend advocating for the Jewish people and the hostages and for everybody fighting the war in Israel. Don't waste your time on these people.
Yeah.
I agree. Well said.
Melinda, what is the most common misbelief about Jewishness or the Gaza war that you've come across online?
Zionism. It's their understanding of the word Zionism. You know, they call us Zios. Did you guys know that? Because I learned that one through TikTok, the word Zios. They have changed the definition, which we all know, and they use it against us. And it's exhausting because, so whenever I talk about Zionism, I will explain the simplicity of it. Yes, there's political Zionism and other types, but the basic.
Your Zionism is?
My Zionism is believing that Israel is the Jewish homeland and that we don't need other people to be kicked out. We can share the land, but it's the Jewish homeland. That's the basics of the belief in Zionism, that whether people have things that they're adding on to it, that's the basics right there. But what they've done, and I watch a lot of their videos because I kind of like to see and understand what they're explaining it as. It's literally they're saying we want everybody else kicked out, we want everybody else dead. It's not pretty. So it's a huge misconception they have, and they use it against us constantly.
For each of you, I wonder what kind of Jewish-related content you think is most powerful and what you would like to see more of, starting with Joseph.
That's a great question. I think for me personally, what I've seen worked best for me is the non-intrusive ones. And I say that because there's like an ad. It's like a very direct. We already have, for the most part, the Jewish people who are pro-Israel, pro-Jewish, pro-anti-Semitic, or who are anti-Semitism. But I'm trying to reach the people who are on the fence, who don't really understand it. And that's why those news articles I do work really well, because they don't realize what they're reading has an agenda behind it until they read it and understand it.
I don't think there's one right answer to that, because I think every single person in this room does something different.
Yeah, it's a personal.
Right? It's so personal. For me, it's education. Yep. Right? My whole account, and it's built through teaching people about Judaism. I'm not trying to convert people, not trying to make anybody feel like they need to be a different kind of Jew. It's just educating people about what it looks like to be a Jew, and part of that is showing people how different we all look. Mm-hmm. That, for me, is the most powerful thing.
I think it's living in your truth. So again, put it out there the way you naturally put it out there. You've got your algorithm going, you've got your people, but I also think it's hitting a chord with all those people that are in the middle, that are on the fence, that don't know. And I have so many born-again Christians that love me and pray for me and pray for us every single day.
That's great.
And I think that that's that middle America, which I'm so grateful to have, because they're the ones that are going to put it out there, and they're the ones that are going to go and stand up, because you want to change their minds. We're not killers.
And if you're speaking to people across the fence, that shows your power. That's really great. Okay, before I bring Tamar up for more questions, just one last question for the group. Just tell me a part of your Jewish identity that you're most proud of, and how you go about expressing that pride on social media.
Well, my whole account's about being a modern Orthodox Jew, so I think that kind of answers that. That's literally all I talk about all day long, and it guides me. Like, being a Jew guides me forward, but the values that I have as a modern Orthodox Jew, they really guide every single decision I make in my life. And I love sharing and answering those questions every day. And like, people ask, how do you come up with new questions? I'm like, it's no problem. It's like, right now I could make a TikTok and we'd be all in it and it would be amazing. I don't have my phone over there. So that's it right there.
It's very simple. For me, it's a sense of community. I'll never forget one of my friends posted after October 7th talking about how he lost, X amount of people, family members, and like 100 and whatever, or 100,000 and whatever, 1,400 people on October 7th. And for me, it's a sense of community, feeling like I lost brothers and sisters, I lost family members, and I love that feeling. Not about the loss, but the community, let me be clear.
What guides me? I'm a mother, as I said. I'm a bubby and proud, and that guides me. All the survivors of the Holocaust, all the mothers that didn't survive during the Holocaust, all the people that should have survived and should be here, that are not here to use their voices. I'm here to be their voice, because we all have to do that. We have to speak for them.
That's great.
And rise above it all.
Okay, we're going to incorporate some of your questions into this. Thank you for your time. I'm going to bring Tamar up. Are you coming up? Or are you staying out there? Oh, she's going to go around for your questions. All right. Thank you.
Okay, you want to raise your hands and then I'll circulate behind you guys? Don't be shy. We're in a room full of influence.
Raise your hand if you have any questions, and yeah.
Hi, my name is Erica Diamond, and my comment is directed at Lynn, because I'm a yoga teacher too. And a lot of the hate that I get in my DMs are, wow, you're pretty angry for a yoga teacher. Or, you're supposed to be Zen, you look pretty pissed off. And it's so funny. So when I showed it to one of my fellow yoga teachers, and she said, actually, we couldn't be more healthy as yoga teachers to express that even though we are calm and peaceful in our soul and heart and being, we are allowed to be angry, and it's actually very incredible to be in touch with your feelings. So I feel you, because I was like, maybe I'm not a typical yoga teacher. Maybe I don't handle myself the way I do a few things. It's one of the things that I do. But I just wanted to say thank you, because I don't know how to navigate it either. And sometimes we're so gaslit that I'm like, maybe I'm crazy. maybe I've gone bananas, right?
Yeah.
So thank you, and I just keep saying, and I just shared your video, and I said that, wow, I feel so seen and validated because we are allowed to be calm and loving, but we're allowed to fight for truth, and we're allowed to be honest and speak how we feel. So thank you from another yoga teacher who's been told she's really not a typical one. I see you, I feel you, and I thank you all for your advocacy. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
We have one more question. Okay, right over.
Hi, Adela Kohav. Has there been a video that you've taken down, and what was your thought process?
I'll jump in with that one. A video with my daughter, actually. You know, there's a balance with kids of what to post, what not to post, and they're teenagers, so they're aware of what's going on. And there was one video that my daughter mentioned Israel, and it hit the wrong side of TikTok, and people lost their minds. And I asked my daughter, do you want me to take it down? Do you want me to mute it? What do you want me to do? And she asked me to take it down. And it's really, really important that we respect what our children want. And by the way, beyond that, it's really important we respect what other adults want. Right? When my husband says I don't want to be in a video, I'm like, ugh. But then I respect it because I understand, like, it's my account, it's not his. So she asked me to take down that video, and I'll never forget it. I was just like, done.
I think that's all the time we have today for questions. But you guys can always DM, follow, all the things. You guys are influencers. You know how to get in touch with each other. So thank you so much. You guys can go anyway here.